So in this video I'm going to break down what's actually inside Forge of the Artificer, the biggest changes and the new toys you get to play with, and whether this book looks like it's going to reshape the way that you run Eberron, or D&D as a whole in 2026. Let's dive in. For those of you about to leave, here's the contents for you. The introduction talks about what's actually in it, and then chapter 1, the Artificer, breaks down class features, subclasses, and character options. The Dragonmarks are back, some backgrounds, changeling descriptions, Kalashtar, Koravar, Shifters and Warforged, and then feats, Dragonmark feats, general feats, epic boon feats. Chapter 3, Bastions in Corvair. Chapter 4 is Shan Inquisitives, then Dragonmark characters in Chapter 5. Chapter 6, Moorgrave characters, each with little adventures, and then Chapter 7, Elemental airships, finishing with magic items and some art. So it is totally an expansion of Eberron Rising from the Last War, and I actually used this book to do my chapter in Vecna Eve of Ruin. I expanded a lot of this using, well, all sorts. The book itself says it's an extensive supplement from Rising from the Last War, adds new character options, new campaign models, new vehicle rules, and that you don't need that book to run this. Little bit of lore about the draconic prophecy from the beginning. The first section breaks down some of the lines and what that means and how to tie it into your home game. So the Artificer is back. And this is not my deep dive video, this is just what's in it and do you need to buy it. Core Artificer traits. It's just nice having something else to play. And this is tweaked for the 2024 update. Becoming an Artificer. We get our Artificer features table. And then obviously it will go through each one of these up to level 20 in a minute. So yeah, level 1 talks about spellcasting. You've got Tinker's Magic, Replicate Magic Item, Choose a Subclass, Ability Score Improvement, Magic Item Tinkerer, Flash of Genius, Magic Item Adept, Spell Storing Item, Advanced Artifice, Magic Item Master, Epic Boon, Soul of Artifice. Then the spell lists, which I don't know if these were in the last one or not. Well, then we get to 5th level and then subclasses. The Alchemist, I believe we've had these before. The Armourer, Artillerist, where you can make a big gun, Battlesmith, and I believe the Cartographer may be new, if I read that correct. Sort of does what you'd expect and goes through all the things you get, and then you get a new spell. The Homunculus Servant, which comes with a stat block. So Dragonmarks are back in a big way. These magical symbols appear like tattoos on skin of some across Corvair, which is the continent of Eberron. You've got greater Dragonmarks. I'm going to pronounce this Siberis, whatever. What's new with Dragonmarks? The benefits of each Dragonmark now derive from feats rather than species options. Dragonmark magic works a little differently than before. Now you can use any spell slot you have to cast the spells your Dragonmark grants you. In a few cases, this change called for adjustments to the spell of the mark feature of a Dragonmark. In addition to the Dragonmark feats, 13 new general feats represent greater Dragonmarks, and one more increases a mark's potency. And one new entry in the epic boon category, the Boon of Cyberis, can represent either a powerful aberrant Dragonmark or a Cyberis mark. Sorry if that is wrong. A character of any species can take a Dragonmark feat and manifest a Dragonmark. In the player's handbook, anyone who has a ritual spell prepared can cast the spell as a ritual. This rule means the ritual spells granted by Dragonmark feats can now be cast as rituals by anyone who has those feats. Got that? Because I haven't. So this book allows any character to manifest any Dragonmark. The Dragonmark Heir. You remember of a Dragonmarked house? Okay. Distant offshoot, Mark of Prophecy. So reasons that you get these marks, basically. Then backgrounds. There's a lot of houses, a bit like drow houses. So you get different backgrounds. Archaeologist, House Agent, House Canith Heir, House Denith Heir, House Galander Heir. So yeah, here we go. Lots of these, which may prove useful outside of Eberron, but you tell me if you have this book. So the Changeling also makes another appearance. The Shapeshifter is pretty cool. Then Kalashtar with their traits. Koravar, traits. Shifters, sometimes called Weir-touched. Shifter traits. The Warforged, obviously. Warforged traits. And then, yeah, Dragonmark feats, aberrant Dragonmarks. And it just goes through a lot of different marks. So there's a real vast array of options. That is the most of this book, as you can see as I scroll down, down, down. So, yeah, it just goes on and on. Great, we're going through greater marks at the moment. My question would be, how many people play in Eberron? I really don't know. Mobile bastions, now I am interested. Bastions and airship stuff, that's what I'm really about. So a mobile bastion has two basic requirements: must be built in a vehicle form, and one of its special facilities must allow for propulsion. So yeah, characters can combine their bastions like mine do, and they must all issue the empower order to the facilities at the same time if they're all together. Special facilities: Artificer's Forge, Construct Forge, Dragonmark Outpost, Inquisitive Agency, Kundarak Vault, Lyranda Helm, Manifest Zone, a Museum, Navigator's Helm, Orion Helm. And then Shan is kind of its main place. Is it its capital? But talks about the campaign frame, if I'm allowed to say that, is film noir, walking around that city. So yeah, it's like an investigation agency themed world. Guild affiliations, what conflicts they might come up against, other gangs and stuff. Gangs get better and harder as they level up. Stat blocks here and there of bosses. Yeah, so good, a good amount of stat blocks. Neighbourhoods in Shan goes through like you do with the Forgotten Realms setting books, just lists off quite bite-sized pieces. But yeah, it just extends on what we already had, and then encounters before basically doing the same thing for a campaign design like The Sopranos or Succession. Resistance schemes and struggles. I suppose more like Arcane would be my touchstone. Yeah, conflicts, the houses, and adventures. Dragonmarked NPCs. So that's pretty useful. Then you've got the pulp action adventure, Indiana Jones, Lara Croft as the touchstones. Characters, patrons, conflicts, university. Oh, that's a nice map. Dangerous destination breakdown. What's this table? Age of Demons finds. Race for the Crab Temple and a third level adventure, which probably isn't very filled out. It's not bad. It's got some stat blocks. Yeah, I like new stat blocks. Right, elemental airships. Awesome. I feel like I'm cheating on an old friend because I push Sky Zephyrs a lot. And this is, well, system agnostic, but also 5e rules for building sky vehicles and how to actually run sky battles. Homie and the Dude made this. Link is in the description if you want a discount. Okay, airships in combat and crews and their stations. Yes, breaks down the hit points, the armour class of your ship. Crashing damage, avoiding across the elemental engines, about its core. And then combat rules. Boarding other ships, being attacked by dragons, etc. A nice bit of art there showing inside a air cruiser. So you get the base stats of the main hull and then the crew stations which make up the rooms inside and the the battle areas of different vehicles. This one comes with a blueprint. The Strider airship. Upgrading an airship so you can up its AC, things like that, for a certain amount of gold. Well, 15,000 judging by that. Additional crew stations so you can build out your own bigger ship. And then aerial challenges, air condition, weather hazards, things like that. And then we get magic items of different kinds. So, is it worth your money? Basically, Artificers are upgraded, gets a new subclass, gets a new homunculus servant. Anyone can play a Dragonmarked character, so that could be a reason to buy it. There's a lot of options to go at, unless Artificer's banned from your table for some reason. We get airships with combat rules, Again, I would suggest leaning into this. You can build your own with lots of different pieces. And even though it's not a lot of pages as such, 100 and something, those are packed with options to use as for characters. And the DM kind of gets very much areas, towns in Eberron, which is cool, you know, if that's what you're playing. And I think Air Bastions is something new and exciting. That was kind of the circle magic of this book. Let me know what you think, because I'll be doing a deeper dive soon.